Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Christian Bible. I used the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel, which I called the Book of Zion. It's published on YouTube at Potsmoker's Bible. You should check into it. It gives a detailed description of current events in the words of the prophets of ancient Israel, starting chiefly with the prophet Isaiah. The current events that I'm talking about is the COVID-19 pandemic, the presidency of Donald J. Trump, um, Black Lives Matter protests in the streets. These are and the cruelty of the American way of life. These four things have come together to create the prophetic events of prophecy. They're all there. But Black Lives Matter is there in many verses, depicting my people being brutalized by the police, depicting the uniforms and the tools used by the police, including the badges, the batons, and the guns. It doesn't name Trump, but it says that the Gray, the Watchers, will place into power the basest of men. And he is the means by which America falls. Because even as we speak, he is finalizing the events leading up to my foretold prophetic actualization. Because even as we speak, I've already put my video, published my book, foretelling these events, where these events came from, where they're leading to, if we so choose. Now, these videos are my way of informing you of all of this. I have already, prior to this video series, gone through all of the required events in my life to place me in the position to be the Zion of the Most High God of Israel, the foretold prophetess of Israel, who brings about the return of the Messiah. It is to Zion that the Messiah comes. Then Messiah itself means the chosen one. The people of Israel, every Friday night, celebrate the bride, the sacred marriage of Zion and Messiah. Now, the prophecy of Zion foretells that the Messiah is the chosen one of God for marriage to Zion. He is the Messiah, that person who is foretold to be the husband of the foretold Zion. And that person is the childhood sweetheart of the Zion. That man that she was that was chosen for her in her youth, who had rejected her and who had gone on to live his own separate life. And the events of her life creates the situation where he returns to her as Messiah. That event will happen. Don't know when. Don't know how. But that's all part of the book. You'll have to read about it. Okay. You'll have to video view it for yourself if you want to know what I'm talking about. But anyway, Trump is even now using strong arm tactics to try to force my people to go back to their poverty, their despair, by force of arms. And what he's going to do is he's going to force them to band together as one to defend themselves against his unidentified troops. They're even now being dispersed across the country into cities with protests. Either the protesters are going to go back to their homes and comply with Trump's takeover of America, where he will be the dictator, like Putin, who is his idol, his mentor, and his guide to power. Now, he's actually Putin's puppet, because the moment he takes over America, America becomes a part of the Soviet state. That's not what Trump thinks, but that's what Putin plans. But that's not going to happen. This is America. We do have guns after all. But we're not going to use them. Because guns are what's that got us into this situation. But it's like, I would rather, no, you'll never take over America, Trump. You never will. Because me and my people will not let you. Because you can try all your strong-arm tactics that you want to. But all we have to do is walk away from your corporate crap. Decide that money is nothing. And start over from scratch. You know, Minecraft it. And that's what I'm proposing. Now, I represent the gray, the aliens, flying around in the UFOs. Now, I've just learned on Twitter that the United States has finally fessed up to the fact that they have an alien ship. Which means that the aliens are real. Well, of course they're real. They've always been real. And they've always been what we have called God, those who from the heavens came. Now, if you go and watch my videos from the beginning, you'll learn that when I was 17 years old in 1979, that the gray, who I believed were God, answered my prayers, and that I gave them my life, pledged to help them end the pain and suffering of all life on earth. And that I have spent my entire life from that moment proving my worth to them, learning how to heal myself with their help, so that I would know how to heal others and end the pain and suffering of humanity. They also taught me a better form of government, based not on money or power, but instead on craftsmanship and knowledge and fact and truth. And they offer that form of government free of charge. In fact, they offer everything to humanity free of charge. All they ask in return is that we follow their laws, that we give up money, that we give up war, that we give up the use of fossil fuels, and that we spend what resources we have preparing to survive the ordeal that corporate America has forced upon us. Because we're headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. It's a planet-killing event. There is a periodic appearance of a rogue planet in an elliptical orbit around the sun. It only comes about every 10,000 years or so. I don't know the exact years. But the last time it came, it destroyed our civilization. And it caused what we call the Great Flood, which has now scientifically been verified. So this planet is coming back in our lifetime. And when it comes, it will go through the Oort cloud and it will bombard the entire solar system with asteroids. That is the source of the bombardment that we see across Mars and across Earth and across the moon. That is responsible for the spot on Jupiter. This is fact. We cannot survive this event on the surface because we've filled our atmosphere with way too much methane. We are in a methane overload loop. We have triggered the melting of the tundra and of the crystallized methane at the bottom of the sea. Both depended on a set temperature to maintain the methane in a solid, inert form. Once the tundra started to melt, we were already fucked. I don't know exactly the date of that, but that was the date that we were doomed. So, the Grey have evolved the drug users into a telepathic subset of humanity, capable of communicating with them on their level. And along with that, we gain the abilities that they have to use quantum mechanics to create a new society based on science, based on magic. Because that is magic, pretty much what we call the mythology of magic is quantum science. And they have taught me how to use that. They have activated my Grey innate ability to manipulate the quantum field. And I can teach that to my people. And I offer it freely to them, free of charge. I'll never charge you a penny for anything I do. My book, published online free. You don't ever have to buy a copy. I don't even have I have one copy of my book. And I don't care to make a penny off of it. In fact, every penny I could ever make off of that book would go into a GoFundMe account for the poor. Because money is what I have come to destroy. And with it, everything about this society that sucks. The Grey have taught me a better form of government that we can implement here on Earth easily. So we're going to Minecraft it. We're going to start over. And we're going to create something new with the help of the Grey. May they watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. The unicorn light. Find your joy. Pursue your joy. Be your joy. Spread your joy. Stay happy and high. If you do drugs, you have every right and reason to. I love you, each and every one. Later. Because I will never say goodbye.